Hi, I'm Tim Harrison, Product Architect at Q9. We're here to talk about Windows Server 2012 R2 installation on dedicated private cloud. So first, let's create the VM. So we'll give the VM a name and a description. We're going to give it 2 vCPUs and 2 virtual cores per CPU and 16 gigs of memory. Let's add a new disk. So the first thing we're going to do is add a CD-ROM. And inside the CD-ROM, we're going to use an image of our Nutanix virtual I/O drivers. These are necessary for Windows to see the virtual disks. We're going to use the existing virtual CD-ROM drive, and we're also going to use the image service, but we're going to mount the Windows Server 2012 R2 disk ISO there. So now we're going to create an actual install disk, and I'm just going to give this 80 gigabytes. So now that we've created our disks, we need to add it to a network. We have a production network and a private network. I'm going to place this on the private network so it's not publicly available. And as you can see, it's going to get a DHCP address. I could choose to specify one, but I'm going to let DHCP do the work here. So I'm going to save that VM, and as you can see, it's available for me now in this listing, and I'm going to power on that VM. You can see that it turns green and it is now available and powering on. Now I'm going to launch the console and you can see that the Windows install is starting. So here we're going to select Windows Server with GUI. And I'm going to accept the licensing terms. And I'm going to use the custom install so that I can load the virtual I/O drivers that I mounted in the other CD-ROM. So I'm going to browse to the Nutanix virtual I/O 1.0.1 drivers. I'm going to select Windows Server 2012 R2, and I'm going to load all of the drivers that are available here. So now that the drivers are loaded, I can see the available unallocated space. I'm going to use all of that space and take the default install. So here we've finished the install. We're finalizing our settings, and as you can see, we've now set up a VM of Windows Server 2012 R2 on dedicated private cloud.